What's up guys, my name is Khan and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and we're back with a build that I actually streamed last weekend, so just a week ago, and I posted it on the workshop and it went to the top of the workshop relatively quickly, and that is this creation here, which is in fact a video recording camera. So it uses the lovely color detection sensors from the mod pack, which will actually record what color it's seeing, not just, a specific color. And then of course these RGB blocks, which then output that color. And you'll see if we press record and then we press play, it'll start recording. And actually this is kind of weird. This is a new sort of weird thing that's been added where the timing is now slightly off on this. It'll still work in that, we can draw objects here and whatever we want to draw. I don't really know, to be honest. We'll put some purple swaths there, maybe some red, and then we can stop recording and stop playing here. And I don't know why it does that weird flashing thing, but then we go back to frame 0 and we press play and you'll see it'll start recording and it'll play back our recorded footage. And we can adjust the frame rate by adjusting this sort of timer here. And we can also engage 40 FPS mode over here with these two switches if we want to record at 40 FPS. You can see there the Scrap Mechanic man coming in and painting his stuff. And it's a video recording camera, but this camera really needed a lot of improvements, and obviously the adjustable frame rate. And on top of that, a lot of you guys were asking for the ability to make stop motion animation, which you could do in this camera, but not really easily. You'd have to sort of come back here and you'd have to press this button and press this button as well and do some weird stuff. So it was really just kind of difficult, and I decided, you know what, let's just scrap this and spawn ourselves the new one. And excellent. And lo and behold, we now have Video Camera 2.0. So you'll notice a few differences right away. Number one, it is a bigger screen. The old camera, I believe, was like 13 by 8 pixels, some weird ratio. This is a 16 by 9 screen, so it gets that good 16 by 9 aspect ratio. And pretty much the same controls over here. We've got record, play, the 0 button, the delete all button, left and right to cycle through your frame counter. And then over here, we've got FPS. So instead of the 40 FPS mode, you can actually just press these buttons here, and we've got a bunch of preset frame sections. So there's 5 presets, and that's just a little bit easier than dealing with the timer and wheel ratios. So we got 1 frame per second, 5 frames per second, 8 frames per second. I was trying to get 10, but I actually went back and measured all the frame rates, and for some reason I couldn't get 10. I could only get 8. Then we've got 20 frames per second, and of course 40 frames per second. Now this is both the playback and the recording speed, but we also have one awesome feature with this camera, which is this section right here on the back. So the old camera didn't have this back control, but I think it's really, really good, and I think it'll help a lot of you guys who really asked for stop motion animations. Now I expect to see some really cool stop motion animations, so if you do make one, I don't really have a memory clip or anything like that, but if you do make one, maybe upload a YouTube video of it or something. That would be really cool. But anyways, really simply, we're on frame 0 right now, so we can press S and that'll record frame 0, and then you'll see it cycles us to frame 1. And then on frame 1, let's just draw a couple dots here or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then we record that, and now we're on to frame 2. And you can see back here, the frame counter keeps up, but if we go back, frame 1, frame 0, and perfect, lo and behold, we can press X, delete it all. Now there is nothing on either of those frames, you can see. So really simply, let's record a video. We'll record in, we can actually record in a different frame rate than we actually play the video back in. So we could record, for example, in 1 FPS, which would be, 1 frame per second, but then we can go back and play it in 40. So let's actually do that and just see how ridiculous it is. So we'll start that. We hit the recording switch first. You can see the frame counter isn't counting, but the recording is activated per se. And then we'll press P, and now we're recording. And let's just try and do as much as we can in a single frame. So let's make this like a nice sky set and see if we can actually draw something. So let's put some grass down. Look at that lovely grass. Let's put some sky. Amazing. I don't know if we're actually getting this in 1 frame or not. And then we'll put a sun with some nice sunbeams. Guys, look at this art. Okay, this is amazing art. I am going to submit this for all the art contests in the world. Look, that's just such an amazing sun. And then we'll have a little stick man over here. Of course, we're actually live recording. We're not stop motion animating this, so it's kind of a little bit silly. So you'll see, of course, the Scrap Mechanic man running in front of the camera. That's a great stick man. Look at that. That's so good. And we're at frame 46. The nice thing too is this frame counter, that doesn't tell you anything, but this frame counter is linked to the front one. So even when you're recording, you can see what frame you're on. We've only done like literally 1 second of footage on 40 FPS mode. So that's pretty great. You know what? This little man, maybe he has a ball. We'll just, I don't know why we're doing this. We should really do this in stop motion. But anyways, look at this magical. This is great. And you know what? It's a bowling ball, so we'll put some 3 holes on it. Actually, it looks more like a face, so maybe it's a face, and we'll give it some skeleton hands. I don't really know. I'm just trying to kill some recording time here because I have no idea what this is gonna look like when it's done. All right, so there we go. Problem solved. You know what? That looks great. And let's go back around here. We'll stop the recording. So we can press P to stop it, press record, and now we can go back to the very beginning, press the 0, and we can crank this up to 40 FPS, and we probably won't see too much, and we can press play, and you can see it actually sort of, it's like fast forwarding almost, but look at how quick that is. Like, that's so quick. So let's actually go back down to 20, go back to 0, press play. It's amazing. So it's a variable frame rate. It lets you change what you want to do with the camera. And then, of course, we can do stop motion animations. For some reason, you will notice, though, that when we record, even with this camera, we still have that weird flickering effect. It's weird. When I was streaming, I don't remember it doing this. What we're doing is we're sending the signal for the memory to change index to the next frame at the exact same time that we're writing. But for some reason, it has this flick where the entire screen goes black at the exact instant where it actually sort of snaps the photo, let's call it that. And I don't know why it does that. I don't remember it doing that before, but for some reason it does. So it's just something that I guess we have to deal with, but not a big deal when you're recording because obviously you're gonna be around here on front anyways. And it does actually play at the proper speed. It just gets a little bit, you know, annoying if you kind of crank up the frame rate. Now you can see adjust the frame rate while we're doing this, and that screen just gets really annoying. So we'll just, we'll put this back at 20 when we go back to play, but just something to note, I don't really know how to fix that. I'm not sure if that's something that got introduced with a mod pack update or if that's something that I did with the circuit, but I believe the old camera didn't do it and then started doing it. But like I said, it doesn't affect the function and it's just a really, really cool build regardless. So let's go around and we'll try and do a stop motion thing. We've got everything set to 0, reset the whole system, 20 frames playback, but it doesn't matter, we're not gonna record. So we're gonna come around here, and this will be our frame 0, so we'll record that with S. Boom, now we're on frame 1. And frame 1 will just be the beginning of our stick man. I don't even know. How do we, there's frame 1. Okay, and then frame 2 is like more of the stick man, right? Something like that. Frame 2, okay. And then frame 3 is like that, and like that, and like that. And like, oh, this is a good looking stick, man. Hold on here. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, this looks great. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am the best artist in the world here, guys. This is amazing. Okay, we're gonna do this. Look at, oh boy. Yeah, this is, I'm sure someone is actually gonna do a proper stop motion animation, but this is possibly the most skill I've ever put into any sort of drawing. You know what? He's gonna walk in there. Then let's throw a ball at him. I can animate a ball moving, no problem. Okay, so the ball will be, let's make it red. A red ball. There we go. Okay, check. And we just have to make sure we're out of the frame there. And then another look at this. This is gonna be great. All right, and then we'll just keep expanding this a little bit more. Perfect. All right, this is gonna be a good video. Blockbuster premiere is gonna be soon. I'm really excited for this, guys. I think it's gonna do really, really well in theaters. This is actually very, very difficult to do. Like, kudos to anyone who actually does do stop motion animation in real life. I've never actually really done it, and I don't know how you plan the whole thing out in your head, because obviously when you speed up everything, you know, everything looks different, and I just don't know how people figure that all out. But I am really curious to see what other people come up with and using this camera. I probably should like stretch the ball in between frames, shouldn't I? This is gonna look like some really terrible flash animation is what it's gonna be. All right, almost done. We're just gonna have the ball come really close to him, and then when it hits him, he's gonna like kung fu chop it somehow. Okay, so here we go. So this is the last frame before the ball hits him, and then he's gonna just like absorb the ball. All right, so that's that frame, and then goes like that. Oh, that looks kind of like something, maybe. What if I do this? Does that look better? Kind of, maybe, sort of. And then the ball comes in like this. right? We'll record that frame. And then like some energy beams come off the ball, like, and like this. Yeah, this is gonna be a seller of a movie. Look at that. Look, he's absorbing the energy beams, right? This is only like 20 frames long. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to watch this at like 5 frames per second for it to even be something. All right, and then he's gonna dissolve the ball. All right, and then, yeah, and then he completely absorbs the ball. So then we'll get rid of all this, all this, all this, all this, all that. And then finally the ball's gone. And then our happy man can go back to his normal stance. Perfect, look at that. And then finally, as the last frame, the sun can come in. Let's just have, like, the sun appear in. There we go, like that. And then, here we go. Look at that, perfect. And there we go. The sun will just come in and light up his day. So let's see what this looks like. Let's go slow this down, because this is probably going to be the most pathetic video I think we've ever seen. So here we go. 5 frames per second. We have 29 frames to play with. We're going to go to frame 0, and we're going to press play. Look at, amazing. Look at that. Awesome. It actually kind of looks like a stop motion animation. I can't believe that. That was just amazing. I'm going to sell the rights to this video, okay? If you guys are interested, please let me know in the comments down below. Starting bid's going to be at least $1 million, so I encourage you guys, you know, let me know if that's in your price range. But of course, let me know what you think of this build, and I will upload it to the workshop. I think it's a great improvement to the video camera. I'd love to understand why that flicker happens. If someone knows, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll definitely fix it and re-update it. But I'm not sure if it's something that happened with the mod pack, because I don't remember it doing that before in the stream. But I mean, I guess I'll have to go back and check the footage and see. And let's just watch this epic video again. I think it was, look at this. This is so good. He absorbs the energy beam, and then the sun comes out. Amazing. Amazing. Best video ever. But of course, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.